Someone's.
As you all know, Elite Meet has been cancelled, and we're trying to raise some money for special effects and hearing dogs from home. We've got some lovely signed pictures from our actors. This is one of our most popular, Eden. Very, very funny actor. Very funny. Brian Blessed, which is Vasco. Another funny guy. He's from
From Doctor Who. Yep, next. Come on, next.
He's from Doctor Who, Ted Baker.
Can you just get the next photo out, please? I think people know who he is.
Tom Baker. My favourite.
Let me help you with that. Okay. I'll stand it up here, yeah.
My favourite.
That's your favourite. Right,
Yeah,
okay.
he's my favourite. I don't like that picture, but...
Alright.
But I like him.
Cool.
Not
cool.
the picture.
Lovely. Okay, next.
Very famous.
Very famous.
Very famous Marina.
Yeah.
Whose name is Karina.
Yeah, great
Voice
voice
pack
pack.
name
Very
is
popular.
Karina.
Okay.
Oh, very heartbreaker.
Yeah. William Shatner. That is, by the way.
I think everybody loves him.
They do. Most people do. Yeah. Okay.
And beautiful Kate.
And Kate, who is popular in the community and works for the BBC. Lots of appearances on Click and various other stuff. Right, okay, so these are all the fabulous giveaways that we've got.
Good luck, guys.
And stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye. This is exclusively signed for HTS Voice Pack soon to raise money for charity.
What else have you got?
I've got some more. This is Eli,
Played by...
played by... Yeah, I forgot.
You don't know who that is? What else have you got?
This is my favorite, by
It's
the
your
way.
favourite and you forgot his name.
I don't like this picture, but he looks lovely now.
Does he? Let's see. Okay, next, what else have you got? Let's see.
Oh,
What's his name?
heartbreaker, William Shatner.
Okay.
All right, I ended up listening to that video and paying too much attention to that I forgot to do the setup side that we needed to do. So if you give us a quick second, Russ, when you are ready, if you want to fire up your... No, we'll have a chat with everyone first. We'll have a chat. I don't know where your audio's coming from, but we are joined with Tech Monkey, we have Russell Pitcher, we have obviously Dave, who's just making an appearance there. I don't see Russ in the chat, actually.
I'm here.
Even Star.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, of course, it hides
Yeah,
people
there he
that
is.
haven't got video. And Eddie Gardner.
I'm in Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah, good old Zoom software's wonderful. It really is. It's been a real godsend for the kind of carry on we want to do. So we, I believe, Eddie, you're going to run this section for us. Is that correct?
That's correct. You can go and get a coffee or whatever.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to turn myself off, which he's looking in the mirror.
Damn it!
Beat us to it. Beaten to it.
Yeah, and I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Eddie Simuth, the Tech Monkey, who I'm going to take. Dave is stealing the spotlight. I'm just going to take the spotlight back. There's Tech Monkey,
That's me!
our engineer.
Hello. Do you notice the nice kind of hazy effect in the background?
There's been some testing and engineering
Yes.
for Artemis, has there?
Yeah, it's going very poorly.
There's the light system that we have.
Is that hazy or is it smoke?
It's
It's
smoke.
smoke.
That's
Simon
the TeamSpeak.
Unfortunately-
Yeah, you know that trouble on TeamSpeak earlier.
Yeah. You know how the last time we used that smoke machine was about 3 years ago?
Oh God, does it stink?
Yeah, it's not very nice.
The
Okay,
things you do for this event, eh?
unbelievable. I'm going to
Yeah.
cut myself away. Then we're going to go and pass over to Russell. Russell, if you want to start sharing your video, we will grab that. Thank you very much. And I shall leave you in their capable hands. Enjoy this and stick around. I had the page there. There we go. Thank you very much, guys.
Excellent. Right. So I
Hello.
can see your screen at the moment. Obviously, we can see the templates there. But before we get to that, so if you wouldn't mind just introducing yourself a little bit, tell us, what made you buy the engraver, basically, the first bit.
Well, it was a bit of an accident, really. I was looking at something on Amazon for cutting vinyl for this sort of thing, for stickers and cardboard and so on. And I kind of hit buy it now instead of add to basket, and it turned up. And so I thought, I'll make some stickers. And as you do, it's only a few.
I mean, that is the scariest words, isn't it? The scariest email to get after you've been drunk is,
Yeah.
thank you for your purchase.
Oops.
But
But,
so th-
you
so
know,
this
I thought,
wasn't
well,
anything
it could
to do
turn
with
up.
work.
I'll have a play with it and send it back. But I made these, and it was just before LaveCon. It was LaveCon 2014, the second LaveCon. And I thought, you know what, I reckon some people like these. I made these, and then Kate stuck them on the back of her phone and got it on the BBC and all sorts. It was great fun. And so I started making hundreds and hundreds of these stickers, giving them away. And this thing it just couldn't cope with it. So I decided to buy a bigger one. And this bigger one will do all sorts of things, but it will also do engraving. So it says it
And the
can't,
wife was
but-
all okay with this, yeah?
She was, because I was making stuff for our theatre group, and I started making stuff for her singing group. So that kind of, softened the blow a little bit.
Oh,
And,
excellent, excellent. Yeah, so by the yes, yeah?
Yeah, so, forgiveness is easier than permission. So that's what happened, really.
Excellent. So obviously what we're going to do first, we're going to get started. So we need to get some kind of design going here. Now, obviously I'm sitting here in my man cave at 12:56 on a Saturday afternoon. So I thought, well, actually, I've got quite a lot of dog tags already because of various Hutton things I've been doing and earning along the way over the years. So I thought, well, what would be quite nice here is I get my wife a set of dog tags. I don't think she's ever going to wear them, and to be honest, they're probably going to get thrown at me. However, I'm looking at your nice colours there, and there's a lovely, lovely hot pink that I think she'd really, really enjoy.
Oh,
So I think obviously that's the first thing we've got to do, isn't it? Yeah, that's the one.
Yes, hot pink. So these colours are just for just an idea. So there's the template. So I start off. I spent quite a while getting loads of templates so you can sort of drag them onto here and make life a lot easier. So we've got a hot pink one. So we'll do a couple down here for you. So with the dog tag set, you get two tags, sort of like. I made a right mess of this, but you get two tags basically, and the classic one on the long string, and then a little one off there that they can plug off your cold.
Like real actual military dog tags.
Real actual tags, yeah, that's the kitty. So you've got four sides to do. So, any idea what sort of thing you want? If you look down in this area here, I don't know how much you can see it, but there's lots of pre-made template stuff. So we've got quite a few ships there. We've got Asp and Vulture and so on, and we've got logos. We've got lots of Hutton stuff. So our Lord and Master Alvin there.
Given that this is going to be for my wife, I would suggest it's some kind of bouquet of flowers. So I'm going to suggest a nice little Thargoid.
Thargoid, yes. Now,
have no idea what she's wearing, but she'll think I've done a really good thing.
That's a good idea. So I've got a Thargoid here, which I made when we were doing a radio show when the Thargoids appeared by mistake. So I made this the next day and sent loads of them to Frontier. So I'll tell you what.
Awesome.
I'm going to turn all that through 90 degrees just to make it easier. So we can, we can mess around with this and turn that into a flower, I reckon. So,
and was this very hard to set up initially? I mean, when you first got this going, did you see? I forget the dog tags so much for the moment, but more the vinyl cutting, things like that? Was it fairly easy to get that up and running?
It did take a while to get used to it because there's so many different different things that you've got to get right. There's sort of pressures and speeds and layers and all sorts of things like that. So it takes a bit of doing. But once you've got it sorted, it kind of ticks along. That was kind of the point of doing these templates here, because then you can just drag them on. You've instantly got this, which would, that would take a long time to draw. Well, it did take a long time to draw, because if you look at the item there, you've got you can't even see it here, but you've got like thousands of different layers and different points and so on. It takes quite a while to draw these up, because you've got to draw them as curves so that the machine knows what it's going to do with the cutting head. But once you've done it, of course, it's done. So if you save them as these assets, life gets a lot quicker there. So I can now call this is a thing. So if we want to make that, say, a flower head, we can then take, get you out of the way, we can then make a kind of curvy stem there. So we can.
So you do have to be fairly artistic to be able to get this up and running. It's sort of to the level that you have.
Reasonably, I wouldn't say I'm terribly artistic, but I have my moments, and I can run off the back of other people very well. So.
And I take it there's a big community around this, so you can sort of share ideas, because obviously, like 3D printing, you can go on there and thousands of you can just share your ideas.
There are, yeah. There's lots of people out there that will help. A lot of this stuff I kind of had to teach myself, because a lot of things like engraving anodized aluminium, it was just, this isn't possible. You can't do it. Don't be silly. And me being bloody minded thought, I reckon you can. So.
And I take it I assume it was quite cheap to get into, but obviously you said you upgraded, so I guess it's quite expensive to sort of stay in and stay up to date with.
Yeah, this one actually costs quite a lot, but once you've got it, it goes on forever, and you can do all sorts of things. I mean, you've seen like the glassware you can do here, so that all comes off this as well. So you cut vinyl instead of keeping the bits in here, you throw them away and stick it on there and use an etching cream. And that then gives you a nice template to etch these things, which has been fantastic. So, I've had a lot of fun doing all sorts of bits of glassware for that. I've got, tankards and all sorts of odds and sods. It's amazing what you can come up with on this thing.
I suppose that's the thing. I suppose if you're inventive, you can kind of create your own fun with it, can't you?
Yeah, it's great. So there's loads that can be done, and you have something like Hutton, which is kind of an inspiring group that gives you lots of ideas. You then find that there's all sorts of bits and pieces that spring to mind. We've got so many inventive people here that it's really fantastic for giving you ideas and just making people smile. It's just really great fun.
Yeah, I must admit, it's part of the community that I just don't get bored of. You see the likes of yourself, Drax, all these people that come up with all these imaginative ways to be able to provide free stuff to people for no other reason than we're all a big family, and and I've seen real cases where people have helped each other out massively as well. It's just people are just a phone call away. So it's really good, and it's great that's one of the reasons why you did this. So.
It's a lovely community, and so you just want to give stuff back. You just want to make people happy, and especially at the moment where life is difficult. We've had all sorts of political stuff, and then there's all this coronavirus business, and it's great. You just put a smile on people's face for no other reason than to make them happy, and it just makes you feel good. I'm not gonna
all
lie.
the politics
there's a
goes
certain personal benefit.
Yeah,
and we just have
absolutely.
fun together.
It is kind of selfish as well, isn't it? Because it is fun. When you see the looks on people's faces, or you see the posts on Facebook saying, "Oh, I got this through the post today," and it's really nice. And obviously, I know you do it for the wider Elite community as well. It's how I first came to learn your name, because the Elite Dangerous community, you were the guy that created stickers for people, and that was No benefit to yourself
Yeah.
other than seeing them posting saying thanks very much, Russell Picture. You know, and that's amazing.
It was just a silly little idea, but you know, I've been lucky really. I've done well out of life, and you know, through no fault of my own, I hasten to add. So it's nice to give a bit back and just, you know, use it for something good rather than just hoarding money.
But obviously, I mean, again, the selfish side of it, you can also say that your stickers are now adorning cars, people's PCs all over the world, every continent pretty much.
Oh
Which is
yeah, I mean
fantastic.
it's a real boost because you know, I started sending these all over the world. It was just an idea. I was only going to do it for a bit, and it went nuts. And then you end up with something like this. This is a bit out of date now, but this is everywhere I've sent stickers.
Oh, that's fantastic.
From 2014 through to about beginning of this year, and just seeing that is great. And I think I can arguably put one on here now as well since the Antarctic mission. Somebody. I know if a friend of a friend of a friend sort of works for NASA, and he's going to see if he can possibly get one on a, you know, a mission at some point onto the ISS.
Yeah, I must admit, I was
very long shot, but you know, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, because I have a connection to Tim Peake, but I think trying to get anything up to the ISS is so expensive at the moment. I think the better option is definitely to try and get it off to Elon Musk and get things up that way, because he's just looking for ballast. So
he could have put one on his car, couldn't he?
Absolutely, yeah, stuck it on the bumper.
So we've got that, actually. Yeah, so we've got a flower here. Do you think that's kind of the thing you're after?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's essentially if we can duplicate it, flip it, stick it at the other side, and then I think that one's probably done.
Yeah. So you just want flowers on this one. We can duplicate that.
Yeah.
Shall I mirror it as well, and we can snap that over.
Oh, that looks amazing. That's like a spirograph instead.
And we can put some text on there if you want.
No, so I was just the flowers.
Thinking on my feet with the other sides. We've got things. We could do a standard Hutton one if you want, because we have a standard sort of Hutton tag, which is this star map here, which is, I confess, very out of date, because I have been doing the star maps right from the very beginning one there, and was updating them about every 6 months as we gained system, but it got nuts. I really struggled to get these in. If there is a place in game, yeah, if you sit in the right place in game, you can see that actual star pattern, which I quite like, but I just can't do it anymore. But we have that one.
But yeah, standard Hutton one, that'll be brilliant.
And the other side with that one would be this one. Now, we've updated this software recently, which means everything comes in at half size, which is not terribly helpful. So we could plonk that one there. So there's that one, and we need to obviously change her name because she's probably not Jameson.
Commander Amazing Wife, I think. If it'll fit.
Commander Amazing Wife.
Oh,
there
perfect.
we go.
Look at that. It's like it was made for it.
Absolutely. So that's one. So let's just center that up a little bit. There we go. And I see this little red ring around here. That's just my safe area because it's not quite as accurate as you might wish for. So we've got one more side to do. What would you fancy on that other side?
I think we'll go dealer's choice on that one.
Sorry?
I think we'll go dealer's choice. What do you think would look good? Obviously, we've got standard pattern. We've got flowers.
We've got Alvin. Alvin
yes. She loves hearing dogs, and she's dying to meet Alvin, so that would be perfect, I think.
So we'll put
I guess our fluffy overlord on there,
and we could put an elite logo, or we can put some text. We've got any
elite logo would be perfect. Elite logo would be absolutely gleaming because it keeps some of that going, doesn't it?
Yeah. So let's put that on there and make that make Alvin a little smaller.
Poor Alvin.
Make you. Alvin's big-hearted. So
Alvin's just what?
You sure that wasn't you, Move? So how does that look for set there? So we have that one and that one as one set, and then this one and that one as the other tag.
That looks absolutely perfect.
That do you? Okay, so right, what I've been doing all of this in this bit of software. It's not the right stuff for the for the cutter, because the cutter software is terrible. So what we need to do is take all of this and then we export it as an SVG, text to curves. There we go, export that.
Excellent. And for those that don't know, what is an SVG?
Scalable vector graphic. It's a set of instructions on how to draw something. It's not like a bitmap or a JPEG or a PNG, which is a collection of dots of different colors which make up an image. This actually describes how this would be drawn in plain text.
So essentially, for anyone that is watching, obviously normal pictures are image bytes, and what this is doing is it's essentially a code in the background rather than an actual physical image, and it's going to go away and tell the software, yeah, you need to move down a little bit, up a little bit, and carry on like that.
So I just noticed on the previous time you went into computer, you had a folder there called nude trampolining. Are you still into that?
Called what?
Your nude trampolining.
Oh yeah, well we got one on the back there. Pressure washed it yesterday, so
ready.
So yeah, so
ready for the
this is the slightly terrible software that I have to use. So that comes in there, and then we can mess around with this. And what go away. And what I've done here is I'll hide that there, and we're going to do 2 tags at a time. So in fact, what I should have done is grouped this properly, which I haven't. So there we go. That will do. So you can't see this, but it is there. So we've got these little registration marks which will tell the printer how to line it up, because you put it in there and it's never quite lined up properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to print 2 of these. There we go. No, that's wrong, isn't it? There we go. We'll do that one. I have one of these. So this is a template that I made to hold these things, because again, there's nowhere to put them, and the forces used are quite hefty. So I have to put the dog tags in here, and you can see quite clearly. You can see the sort of registration marks. So what I'll do is I'll put these in these dog tags here in the correct holes down here, which is those 2 middle ones. So they sit in that template with some thick cards and some sticky stuff to hold them down. And then it's going to go into my cutter. So
Excellent.
Right, if I put this on here, that's my cutter. Hello. Oh, the camera is working.
Oh.
So this gets loaded in here. And I'm stepping away from the microphone, which isn't very helpful, but
that's right, we could still hear you. Don't worry too much.
There, and I'll just suck that up there. And I want to get that roughly in the right place there. So that's the thing loaded. But of course, as you can imagine, it's never going to be terribly accurate. So what I've got here that you can see, let me just do a bit of this. There we go. So this bit over here is actually a little camera under there. Hello. So when we want to cut this, all I have to do is hide everything I don't want cut and go up to here and choose the right profile. So I've got all these different profiles of all these different materials that I've set, speed, pressure, all that sort of thing. And I can go to a print and cut here. Now, normally this would print it and then I would stick it in here and it would cut it, but I've, quotes, pre-printed it. So we go over here. So this little camera that I've added on to this is now going to give me a really close-up picture of those registration marks. So I can then move this around and tell it exactly where those registration marks are.
Oh, that's really cool.
That, it should then be able to work out exactly how much of a wonk I've put it in on, and it adjusts all the details accordingly. So it's quite good stuff. But before I added this camera and a Raspberry Pi and all the rest of it, I had to sort of squat down in front of it. And if I
so you've done a bit of a hackathon on it.
I have, and it works a treat. It's so much easier. So let's do that there so we can see it. And then if I print cut, that should. There we go.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I suppose while this is cutting, obviously, what we could potentially do is cut ourselves to a small musical interlude, just to keep everybody entertained while they're watching this. Moof, if you wouldn't mind cueing the music, please.
Yeah, sure. I'll just anything particular. I've got an idea. I've got something that's maybe fitting for this moment.
Perfect.
Let me just play it.
Once a humble man bought an engraver. He crafted his dog tags. His kindness made us care. His wares were widely sought with acts of fortitude. He did it for Hutton. He did it for good. He travelled with his trades to all kinds of venues, sitting for hours to grab trinkets for you, raising many coins for our charities. And so cries the pitcher, I do this for thee. Toss a coin to the pitcher, attendees of plenty, attendees of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your pitcher, attendees of plenty. At the CCM, the legend shall return. We all must engage him, of this you will learn. And shape your desires, treasures they will flow with colors of plenty, so give him a go. 25 of your own pounds, he'll do your bidding, he'll make you your dog tags, so throw in your coin. Charities your help, the best in all the lands, they are specially thanked, and the hearing dog. Toss a coin to your pitcher, attendees of plenty, attendees of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your pitcher, attendees of plenty, attendees of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your pitcher, a friend of humanity, a friend of humanity, oh. Toss a coin to your pitcher, a friend of humanity.
That's fantastic.
Excellent. So yeah, that's obviously. I'm assuming you probably recognise the voice in that one.
I didn't actually. Is that Amelia?
It might be. It might be Mrs. Evenstar.
Is it? I'm going to get in trouble now.
Oh, you're going to
arrange that.
So obviously this has been something that's been in this for a while. Obviously this was going to be played at ECM, hence the 25 of your own pounds and all that. So, but yeah, obviously Moof worked his magic and managed to get this produced for us, and then we very sneakily in the background had Mrs. Evenstar record it for us, as well as a couple of other versions that are a little bit secret at the moment. So.
Oh, I was getting all excited listening to this. I was just going to show it to her as soon as I got off here.
She's already a bit aware of it, yeah. She knows.
Yes.
She does have a lovely voice, doesn't she?
And obviously, as a thank you from us to her, these dog tags are actually going to her afterwards, please. These are going to be her very own Hutton dog tags.
Come here, you.
Yeah.
I got this sort of smug smiley face. Come round here. Come here. Oh, this is Miss Featherstone. Thank you very much. See, I said she'd come to ECM one day.
Yeah, we managed to get here.
Yeah, no, it was so awesome. We've got a couple of other versions of it as well, just in case, because funnily enough, you were working from home quite a lot and made it very difficult.
Yeah, I imagine I did. Yeah, that must be a right pain in the backside, but oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was a good laugh.
Day, guys.
I'm glad you've managed to hear it now, because it's been something that we've been having to keep under our hats for a lot longer than we wanted to be honest. And it was even secret from David for most of it. I think we
really.
He knew it was happening. He knew kind of something was going on, but we didn't let him in on the details. He wasn't allowed to know.
No, I was in the dark as well. I'm a big fan of Mrs. Evenstar's work. She's done some songs for us, parody songs as well over the last few years, which are always really appreciated when we play them on the radio show.
Yes, yeah, it's great to see her getting out and doing them. For a long time, she'd sing in the shower and sing in the bath and sing around the house and not do anything with it. And then we did a play a while back, and they needed a little singing trio, so we kind of urged her to do it, and she formed this group. So she's now got this group, Champagne at the Blitz, which with her and their two friends that's been going since 2014-ish, about the same time as Elite, really. And it's great to see her doing some stuff, and you're really having fun and getting her confidence up, because she's got such a fantastic voice, which means, of course, I don't sing ever because I'm terrible.
No, it was fantastic, and again, if you can pass on our thanks again to her, it was, it's an amazing piece, and it was really fun.
I certainly shall
sort of do the work in the background for it as well, so it was great.
We've also got
there's
some
the tags.
Ooh.
Can we get a close up on those, just so that people can see what we're doing, and then I think I'll probably open up the questions to the Twitch. I've seen a couple coming in.
Whoops, there we go. There's there's one there with its other side. I don't know how that's going to go. And there's Alvin and
should we get Flossie to ask a question? So we haven't heard Flossie's voice for a while, and I know Flossie's got dog tags. I don't know if Flossie can hear us on this chat as well. Can you hear us, Flossie, or are you too busy in Second Life?
You're muted. I can see it now.
She's muted. Can we unmute her, do you think? Is there a way of doing that?
Not from this side.
Ah, curses.
Unmute. I should be there now, I think.
Oh, there she is.
Hello. Hello. Hello, Floss.
We've just been making dog tags live on screen with Evenstar.
Oh,
yes.
There you are.
You've got yours. You've got a set, haven't you? Of the dog tags, Flossie.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yours are back from the early days when we only had a couple of stars in our system,
I've
so the back of them are
numerous dog tags. I've lost count how many I've got.
That's great. I love seeing the different star systems, and you can tell when people got them, and it's great fun designing them. I mean, I know I spend time at ECM making these things as a rule, but you do have so much fun doing it because you get to talk to so many people, and and it's great. And I'm not the only one that puts a lot of work on these.
Hang on, I think Flossie's grabbing. Yeah, but obviously, Flossie, you've been at some of the live events where Russell's been there as well, and he doesn't get off that desk, does he?
There's the Muggies one.
You got a Muggies one? Ooh. Oh no, can't quite see that on screen. Oh yeah,
No, every time we look towards him, he's.
No, we can't quite see him there. Oh, there we go. There's a Muggies dog tag. Just about. Whee!
We got there.
Oh no, we got there. Yeah, because of course you've seen Russ at these events. I mean, it was mentioned during the song, but yeah, you've seen him glued to the desk. I mean, we don't actually ever get to play with Russ because Russ is always too busy making dog tags. Because it was at the Frontier Expo, Russ.
Yeah, that's where it started, really, wasn't it? I don't think it was a dastardly idea.
He's very busy the whole time.
Yep. And we actually had to kick you off the desk on one event because you were spending too long on it. We actually had to ban you and take the computer off you.
Yeah, but it's great fun, I mean,
Because obviously, I mean, everyone that runs games when we do these ECM things, we all make sure that we take it in turns to go around and sort of take each other off the desk for a little while and then go and play some games. Whereas no one can do that with your kit, can they? So it's literally you're stuck there all day doing this.
But I have lots of fun. I still meet some fantastic people. I get to chat and talk rubbish and show off a bit, which is always always nice. And so many people put so much work into it. Really in the scheme of things, I do very little compared to so many people. Most of the people here, of course, and I just have a while of a time doing it. So I'm quite happy to do it. And hopefully we'll give them some away in the raffle, aren't we? As well. I'm sure I can do a few more for today. So if anyone wants to give away a spot set, time to time, just say.
I think 500 each.
And there's a couple in the the raffle as well. I think you put a couple of sets. I think there's 3 sets of dog tags in the raffle, along with a little bit of your glassware. I don't know if you've got one of your pieces of glassware handy.
I have, yes. So I've got. There you go. So I've got.
Nice.
This is the that's 2018 one, but
can someone flip the stream back to Commander Evenstar?
Ooh.
Yeah, sorry.
Reshare the screen. Give me a second. Share screen. There we go. I'm sorry, Carlo. There we go. That's me again. So yeah, so that there is the 2018 one. So it's going to look something like that. And what we're actually going to do, if I go back to take that off, there we go. So that's the design for this year's one. So I'll be making those and sending those out as soon as I can realistically get to a post office, whenever that may be. But we'll have some of those.
That's going to be quite a unique one as well, because we're not going to have a virtual ECM again, hopefully, as long as the world survives this. So that's going to be quite a unique one. So if you actually manage to get this, you're probably going to have something that very few people have got, which is fantastic. Okay, well, I think we'll probably draw it to close there, because I'm very well aware that we are well over time here, and we've got the quiz coming up in half an hour, plus I think Drew's coming up in a few minutes.
Yep,
so...
okay, Drew's. Shall I roll some end credit music as well? We've got a different version for the end credits. When
I just want to thank you for your time. And again, obviously, if anybody wants anything donating or anything, speak to Russell, and some small few pounds, he will create some dog tags for a special event or whatever.
Yes, if you care to donate to Hearing Dogs or Special Effect, or both, if you're feeling generous, because let's be honest, they really need it at the moment, then, talk to me and I might be able to knock you up a set this weekend. So.
Right, well, thank you very much for your end credits.
Thank you.
Once a humble man, bought an engraver. He crafted his dog tags. His kindness made us care. His words were widely sought with acts of fortitude. He did it for Houghton. He did it for good. He traveled with his trades to all kinds of venues, sitting for hours to craft trinkets for you, raising many coins for our charities, and so cries the pitcher, I do this for thee. Toss a coin to the pitcher, attendees are plenty, attendees are plenty, whoa. Toss a coin to your pitcher, attendees are plenty. At the CCM, the legend shall return. We all must engage him, of this you shall learn. His shaken desires, treasures they will flow, with colors of plenty, so give him a go. 25 of your own pounds, he'll do your bidding. He'll make you your dog tags, so throw him your coin. Charities you'll help, the best in all the lands. They are special effects and the Hearing Dogs. Toss a coin to your pitcher, attendees are plenty, attendees are plenty, whoa. Toss a coin to your pitcher, a friend with new entities. Toss a coin to your pitcher, attendees are plenty, attendees are plenty, whoa. Toss a